How would you look at his season as a whole? Last year, Dara. Obviously signing from West Brom, I think it was 7 million, something like that. So a bit of money for a centre half. Obviously he's 25, so he's still got a lot of room to grow. But how would you look over his overall spell at Burnley?
Yeah, I think it was one that improved as time went on. I think he struggled initially, and he certainly wasn't the only one. With the way Company wanted to play and trying to be open and trying to play a really high line and play out from the back, and it didn't necessarily suit O'Shea's game. Straight away, and he certainly wasn't the only one, and there was a lot of holes and problems with that, that initial Burnley side that were playing in the opening 7, 8, 9 games, because the lack of protection, and it was just a big step up, and it was a pretty new back line. It was sort of mix and match a little bit in the initial stages as Company tried to sort of find his best team, best back four. So yeah, there was some struggles. He didn't look the most confident or on the ball, but as Burnley sort of went on and adapted and sort of became a little bit more compact and a bit more solid, you started to see the best of him, and that is a lot of the stuff you want your defenders to do, which is the box defending, which we're probably going to have to do a lot of this season, which is putting the body on the line, getting the blocks in, reading the game, tackles. So yeah, you started to see a lot more of that, and that's when his performances started to improve. And then he was a real threat from set pieces. I think he scored a couple of goals at the back end of last season. Scored against Luton in the opening day of the Championship season this season. So, there's that element to his game. And also he got a couple of assists. There was a couple of being able to step forward, and when Burnley were a bit more settled and a bit more used to the Premier League, he was able to sort of contribute on the ball as well. So you started to, as the season went on, you saw more and more of the better parts of his game. But yeah, that initial period, it was a bit of a struggle, but that was him acclimatizing essentially back to Premier League football. And as I say, it wasn't necessarily just an individual issue. It was more of a collective issue that Burnley had about how they were approaching games and sort of the way they were set up, that was opposition teams were able to exploit. So yeah, it was a season of, as you sort of said in the question, it was a season of growth for him. And I think by the end of the season, he looked a much better player than he did at the start. And I think the changes the Company made helped that, but he also grew into his role and showed the development that you'd want to see from a player of sort of his age and experience.